So, you're well prepared, you have the right clothes, you have the right set of mind, you are not afraid of different stereotypes, and you're ready for your first date. Yes, this is a video about your first date. So the first date is very important. And the goal of the first date is finding if there is mutual interest, mutual chemistry, and if you are attracted to this girl and if you see her eyes sparkling back. So the reason is finding mutual interest and finding the reasons to continue seeing her again. So you must get ready for your first date this way. You dress up. You have to dress up. Wearing stuff like you would wear to your good friend's wedding. Smart. You have to make the first impression because women scan you like you scan the women and they make their judgment. You don't want to have, you don't want her to think that you don't have enough money to buy a new shirt, or you aren't, you don't care enough for what you wear. Because in this society, we do care what we wear when we are talking to new people. It's actually us showing respect to someone else when we dress up to meet somebody for the first time. It means a lot of respect. So show this respect to the girl. So you come dressed up, you meet her in my office, I introduce you to this girl, and if you do not have enough time, then you stay in this room, in this beautiful white room. Vika may show around. This is where you may have your date. We have coffee, we have chocolates, we have nice and quiet atmosphere. We even have music, but you don't hear it because I'm trying to make it as quiet and as clear as possible for you. So in this white room, you can have your first date if you have only 1 hour or 30 minutes, and we tell you in advance about it. But if you like a girl, or if you want to make a really good impression on the girl, take her out. There is a restaurant in the same building. You don't have to walk far. Even if it's raining cats and dogs, we can give you an umbrella and you take her to the corner of the building where there is Just Relax restaurant and have coffee there. Because this is your territory. My office is my territory. You are a guest here. So you can't be as cool as you can be when you are taking her out. This is the main reason. Because you may really change your mind. In some of the cases it happens when the guy said, well, she's okay, but then, wow, she's super cool. Yes, this is the girl I want. So you don't want to lose that first impression, which is only once, happening once. You can only make the first impression once, so use that chance. So you're taking her out, you're sitting somewhere in a nice atmosphere, you drink coffee, you eat something, depending on the time of the day. She doesn't care if you're hungry or not, but you care if she's hungry or not. Because if this is lunch, you should invite her to have lunch. If this is the 7th date that you have the same day, sorry, I'm exaggerating, of course, but if this is not your first date, then eat something light. Have some salad made of leaves, but just eat, because when people eat, they relax. They are putting down their fears. The hormones in our body are working in your favor when you are feeding somebody next to you. She's thinking, oh, he's not that scary, he's not that terrible, he's quite a nice guy, he can feed me. Her subconsciousness is actually being your friend, telling her, like, listen, he's a good guy, let's look, let's listen, what is he going to say? Ask the girl, of course. If she's not hungry, she's going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not hungry, let's just have coffee. But you're sitting in a good place, and then you're eating something, or you're just having coffee, and then you talk. So you are very interested to catch this first impression. You smile, you make her laugh, you make her relax during the first 15 minutes of your conversation. Make her feel like, yeah, he's a safe guy. So we feel safe when we smile. Do not say sexy jokes, do not say jokes about politics, and do not joke about bad life in Ukraine, do not joke about women. Joke about something neutral. read some books about joking and be ready with several handy jokes. So when she smiles, then you can go on. So the goal of your date is actually to show that you're a safe guy, that you're a good guy, that you're a good catch, that you're a super cool guy to be with, and just see what happens. Remember that this is her goal too. So she may probably dress very well, she may come with a welcoming attitude, she may be smiling to you, and she may be asking you different questions. So now talking is important. And make sure you are not talking 100% of the time, and make sure she's not talking 100% of the time. You need to ask very serious questions on your first date. You need to make sure she wants as many children as you want. You need to make sure that you understand what kind of family she's coming from, and tell her about your family. The rule is simple. Ask her the questions that you will answer yourself. And if she's not asking you those questions, she's probably distracted by something else. So answer the question for her. If you are asking, for example, do you have brothers or sisters? And she says yes, and she tells you about her brothers and sisters. And they say, oh, by the way, I have a sister too, or whatever families you have. Or, you have to find as many related points as you possibly can. Because if you had a disaster of a family, and you don't want to build your new family like that, and you share it on a first date, and she had the same, you probably have found your soulmate. I have couples like this, and they are making it great. They are married, and they have one of the strongest connections. Yes, those people that had disasters of their parents' family. They know definitely what they don't want, and before they came to an agency, they have realized what they really want, and then it works for them. So share as much as you can. Be honest. You don't have things to lose. You have only your fears and your insecurities that you can lose. You're not afraid of anything. You see your goal and you go forward. So you are talking about your past, because this builds trust. This is number one thing you're talking about. You're building trust with a girl. You're making her laugh. You're making her feel secure. And we feel secure when the guy is sharing with us the past. What happened? How he behaved before. What are the funny stories of his life? Then you're talking about future. How you want to live. What kind of wife you want to have. What kind of person you are interested. What kind of woman you want to have nearby. And you're asking her what kind of man she wants to be with. So whether you qualify, you're checking whether you're qualifying or not. So you are then talking about now. So now, here I am, a cool guy sitting next to you. So here I am. What you're doing now, what is your job, what are your hobbies, what are your interests. So I will repeat again. The formula for communication is past to build trust, future to, dingle with here, this is why I'm cool. And now, securing, like, yes, I'm cool because this is what I have, this is what I do, and these are my interests and hobbies. And asking her questions. So usually your date will not be longer than 2 hours. 2 hours is plenty to answer these questions, to make this first impression, and to talk about many, many different things that can be things in common between you and her. And then you are definitely not going to tell her how many women you are meeting. Because if a woman is interested in you, she's definitely going to ask you, do you have many dates? Do you have many communications with other women? Does she, meaning Natalie, organizing your time? You can joke. You can change the subject. You can say anything you want, but you're not supposed to give her the answer because she doesn't really want to know the answer. Her questioning that means that she's really interested. And probably one of the good answers is, you know what? I have some dates planned. I came here to meet people, but I'm sure you're meeting other people too. But you know what? I really like you. If you like her, If you don't like her, don't say anything. Just change the subject and say, whatever, why would you care? It's not important. But if you really like her, you say, I really like you. I would really want to see you again. I would want to narrow down my choices as soon as possible. Because Natalie, of course, she wants me to meet other people. She wants me to show that there are good guys in the world, and she thinks I'm a good guy. So, I'll probably be a good guy. So, find good, safe answers for that question. But you do not discuss the date that you just had. You are not telling her 5 other dates that were disasters, if they were, or other women that you've met. You may say, yeah, I've met some women, but I've never had such a great connection with anyone like you today. I think you're special, if you really think so. Do not give them false promises. If you do not like a girl, do not lead her on. You don't want her to chase you because you are saying something politely and then she really thinks that you are into her. If you are not interested in a girl, do not even take her contact. Point. We will deal with it later. If you change your mind, I can always talk to her and I can find out if she really feels that there is sense to continue. But trust your impression, trust your first judgment, and take her contact if you only see the reason to see her again. And if she doesn't give you her contact, that also means that either she's a new client and doesn't know what to do, that happens, or she's not that interested. So anyway, there is always a feedback after the date. We will find out definitely what's going on after she gets her feedback. But if you feel great, if you feel great connection, if you feel all is going just perfect, you are making sure you're taking her contact, you are giving her your contact, you immediately write her a message on Viber or WhatsApp or Skype, anything, you connect to this girl. And you make sure you are putting her on a taxi after the date. Yes, this is another thing that is good to do, because if you had a good date, you want to show her that you care, regardless of what the weather is. If she drives, she will say, no, I'm driving, don't worry. Then give her at least 50 hryvnia for the parking, or 100, whatever. When you're giving a girl money, it's not bad in this country. It shows that you care. It shows that you're actually generous in general, right? So make sure she goes home safe. If she doesn't drive, then make sure you can order her Uber on your phone. We have Uber in Kiev. So you ask for her address and you ask her, please give me a call when you arrive home. I really want to make sure you're safe, you've arrived, or you even go with her. Ask her if it is okay, if you have time. Depends how many dates you have after this date. So if the time permits, then escort her to her home. Usually around 200 hryvnia is enough to get from one place to another in Kiev. Sometimes it is one way, so 400 hryvnia will be absolute maximum to pay for the girl's taxi, if she lives within city limits. If she lives a bit further, we will tell you in advance. If you don't accept it, do not meet her. Because some girls live in the nearest villages or near Kiev. It's just cheaper to rent places there. Brovary, Ukrainka, whatever, Vyshgorod. The places are near Kiev, but taxis are expensive. So you can probably pay 500 hryvnia one way. But the good stuff is that we are protecting you and we are arranging it for you in advance and we are announcing it to you. So just be, in communication with us, with my office, and we will help you with that. And when you are inviting a girl on the next days, also make sure she goes home safe. Make sure you provide the transportation. It is not obligatory, but if you are looking for a wife, you are definitely interested in getting her the image that you are safe, that you are safe to be with, that you can care about somebody. When you are saying that you care about your woman, well, listen. But when you are giving her money for the taxi or you send her home on your Uber, we believe. So use this chance and make the most of your first date, and then you will have your second one.